Have you ever felt like something is about to happen, but you can't explain why? As if the universe is whispering a warning, a final sign, and you know you can no longer ignore it. If you are a Scorpio, this message did not come to you by chance. December didn't come to comfort. It came to reveal. What is hidden will now be exposed. Because Scorpio isn't just a sign. It's a cosmic seal, a spiritual calling that demands courage, silence, and rebirth. Those who carry this energy did not come into the world to live ordinary lives. They came to cross the invisible, to touch the shadows and return with answers. And now, in this final cycle of the year, the path that seemed confusing will begin to align. But are you ready to see what has always been in front of you? Are you willing to accept the mission that your soul has carried since before birth? The signs have already begun to manifest themselves. Strange dreams, chance encounters, unexplained chills, numbers that repeat themselves. None of this is random. December is the month of revelation, and for Scorpio, it is also the month of decision. There is a silent choice being made: follow or retreat, awaken or remain blind. The universe is watching who is ready to cross this spiritual portal. Many will feel it, few will understand. But whoever really listens will know exactly what to do. Because the true Scorpio already sensed it, always felt, and now the time has come. If you are listening to this, it is because this revelation is yours. And what comes next will change the way you see your own destiny. So stay until the end, because the next signal is closer than you think. If this message is resonating with you in some way, don't ignore it. Comment below, "I felt the signal." This simple gesture is not just a comment. It is a spiritual confirmation. It's like sealing a pact with the invisible, saying, "I'm ready to understand what December wants to show me." And you are not alone on this journey. When you comment, you activate the energy that connects other Scorpio or sensitive souls to the hidden calling. This creates a mystical chain of identification, where every word spoken here further reinforces the revelation being delivered. This content was not made to entertain, it was made to awaken, and it only awakens those who are really prepared. So, if at any point you felt goosebumps, if any phrase spoke directly to your soul, click like now. This is not about numbers. It's about vibrating together. It's about showing the universe that you are aware and willing to receive what is coming. And more than that, subscribe to the channel. Here, each video is a new piece of this spiritual map that we are unraveling together. Every revelation is connected. Each sign has a role. And if you are here, it is not by chance. Your journey is just beginning. And when the next sign appears, and it will appear, you will be here to recognize it, because you are already awake. Now continue. What comes next will reveal why Scorpio was chosen to cross where few have the courage to go. Have you ever had the feeling that something bigger is about to happen, and that you can no longer ignore it? That silent restlessness that begins to grow inside your chest, as if time is speeding up and, at the same time, something deep down is saying, "Pay attention, the moment has arrived." You may not be able to explain why, but you feel it. Scorpio feels, before the others. First of all, like an ancient omen, a truth that has not yet been revealed but is about to emerge. If you are a Scorpio, this message did not find you by chance. It was pulled to you by an invisible force that connects destiny, time, and mission. And when I say mission, it's not just anyone. I'm talking about something deep, ancestral, that hides behind your losses, your most intense pains, your falls and rebirths. Nothing you experienced was in vain. No pain was random. No betrayal. No loss. No silence. This was all part of spiritual training. And now, in December, the last cycle opens. The final signal. The choice is being made behind the scenes of the invisible. And those who are Scorpios feel this like a needle piercing their soul. You feel like you need to decide, that you need to act, that you can't put it off any longer. It's as if your every thought is being watched, as if each attitude was being weighed by greater forces. And it is, because Scorpio is one of the most spiritually watched signs. It is a transition seal, a point between the end and the beginning. You did not come into the world to follow the common flow. You came to break patterns, cross portals, carry secrets, and transform realities. And do you know why? Because only those who know darkness are capable of leading others to the light. Scorpios don't learn from books. They learn from pain, with the silence, with loneliness. And contrary to what many think, this is not punishment. It is preparation. You have been trained to resist where many give up, to be silent where others scream, to watch where everyone gets lost. And now, this December cycle is calling the true bearers of this energy to fully awaken. It is a silent but powerful call, a type of vibration that you don't hear with your ears but you feel on your skin, in your eyes, in your chest. It's when the world says everything is okay but you know it's not. It's when everyone seems distracted, but you can't stop, thinking something is about to happen. This something has a name, revelation, and it comes in the form of people who reappear, dreams that disturb you, thoughts that insist, signs that repeat themselves. That word that someone says without meaning to, but that activates a code inside you. That song that plays and suddenly you feel like you're receiving a message. That feeling that something or someone is trying to tell you something urgent, but it's still between layers. Scorpio is a master at deciphering the occult. But there are times when even you need to be reminded that your spiritual strength lies not just in knowing but in feeling, in allowing, in accepting what is being revealed, even if you don't yet fully understand it. And here's a truth that few have the courage to say. The final sign that December is bringing is not external. He is inside you. It's been there the whole time, but now he wants to be heard. It wants to be activated. And this only happens when you stop running away from your essence. You know that intuition you feel and ignore? That feeling that seems illogical but insists on coming back? That thing you dreamed about and thought, it can't just be a dream? All of these are ways that the universe is using to warn you. Scorpio is the sign you see first. Sit down first. You know beforehand. But it is also the sign that often sabotages itself out of fear of its own power. And there is no more time for that. The world is changing. Portals are opening. And anyone who has been marked spiritually needs to take a stand. Do you feel like you don't fit in? Who is more sensitive than others? That your pain seems deeper? That your presence bothers some but attracts others with an almost magnetic intensity? That's no problem. This is a gift, and it was not given to you by chance. It was given because only you have the spiritual structure to sustain this type of energy. Only you, Scorpio, have a heart trained by pain and a soul marked by the silence of the invisible, and that doesn't make you weak. It makes you dangerous in the best sense, makes you a guardian. It makes you one of the few who carries a real mission on this plane. And this mission is not about fame, money, or applause. It's about transformation. It's about doing what only you can do. It's about being the breaking point that changes the path of other souls. And this all starts when you allow yourself to remember who you really are. December is not asking for answers. You are ordering delivery. It's testing your willingness to hear what your soul has been trying to scream for years. And perhaps you have ignored this call until now, but not today. Today he came back stronger, clearer, more direct. You are not here watching this by chance. You were pulled by this energy. Something inside you asked for this sign. Something in you knew you needed to hear this now. And this connection that is happening here, between you and me, between your soul and this message, is just the beginning of something much bigger. You will understand in more depth in the next few minutes. But before I continue, I want to ask you something simple but powerful. If you are feeling this energy, comment below now. I accepted the call. Write this as a spiritual seal. It's not just a comment. It is a confirmation ritual. It's you telling the universe, I heard, I understood, I will no longer delay. And if you felt that this message spoke to your soul, enjoy this video. This help spread this energy to other Scorpios who are also ready to awaken, and subscribe to the channel, because this is just the first of many revelations that are yet to come, and you need to be here to receive them at the right time. Now take a deep breath, because what you will hear next will shake your deepest truths. Take a deep breath, because now we're entering a part that perhaps you've never heard like this. With this depth, Scorpio is not just here to live. Scorpio is here to cross over. To dive where no one has the courage to go, to touch the pain that others avoid, to be reborn from situations that would destroy anyone else. And as much as this has made you feel alone many times, that's exactly what sets you apart. Scorpio is the crossing. It is the abyss between the end and the beginning. And December is the portal. It's the month where everything that has been lived, suffered, and hidden aligns to a single purpose: to reveal who you really are. Have you ever noticed that when everyone is distracted, you are feeling everything stronger? That certain pains come sooner for you? That certain cycles end without explanation, as if the universe ripped you out of places and situations where you no longer belong? This is not punishment. This is preparation. Your soul knows, even when your mind tries to doubt, you are not made for the common path. And that's why so many things in your life have always been too intense, too deep, too lonely. Because Scorpio carries an invisible contract with transformation. No matter where you are or who you are with, you will always be the turning point, the presence that transforms the environment, the energy that changes the flow. And that's not a choice, it's a calling. And this call intensifies as the year comes to an end. December brings with it a silent pressure, as if time was compressing, as if something said, now is the time to see what was previously hidden. And for Scorpio, this is not just a symbolic moment. It is a spiritual cycle, an exact point where what you spent a whole year trying to understand finally starts to make sense. The losses, the silences, the separations, the reality checks, the harsh revelations, all of this was preparing you for this point, for this last call, the final signal. And here's the part that many don't understand. The pain you experienced was not a mistake of fate. Your mission was successful. It was a cleanse. It was a necessary cut, because your path requires space. And what you lost, in fact, was what was taking the place of your deepest truth. Scorpio is a sign that does not accept energetic lies. Even if it sometimes takes a while to understand, your soul rejects what is inauthentic. And that's why so many situations fall apart. Because the universe wants to see you whole, not adapted. Maybe you still remember something that hurt you deeply. Perhaps he is still carrying a hurt that has not been understood by anyone. And you may be wondering, why me? Why do I feel so much? Why is everything about me more intense? The answer is here. Because you came with a mission of spiritual reconnection. You were programmed to feel the pain that others cannot feel, to heal it. You were designed to absorb the darkness and transmute it. And this is not a metaphor. It is real energetic work. You are like a spiritual antenna, an open channel between the visible and the invisible. And therefore it also carries a sensitivity that seems like a burden, but is in fact your greatest tool. How many times have you sensed the end of something before it happened? How many times has your body felt what the words didn't say? How many times have you been the first to notice that the energy has changed in a relationship, in a house, in a cycle? This is a gift, and it is also part of your role in this plan. December is pulling you closer to this truth. The universe is beckoning to those who have already been prepared, and you are among those few. But to accept this call, you need to break with what still holds your energy in the past. Some wounds you keep open are just distracting you from the mission, and maybe this is the moment when you need, for the first time, to stop holding on to the pain and start holding on to the purpose it brought. Because all Scorpio pain carries a code, a portal, an invitation to something greater. Nothing about you is small. Nothing about you is superficial. Scorpio lives what others avoid. And for this reason, he is reborn where everyone is lost. And if you've come this far, it's because you've already begun to be reborn. You've already started to hear something different inside of you. Have you realized that you can no longer pretend that certain things still work? That certain people still belong? That certain habits still support your essence? December is separating what is shell from what is soul. It's testing your courage to let go of what comforts you, to embrace what transforms you. Because the mission is not to survive, and it is to overflow. And you know what's most interesting? It's just that even with all this happening, you still doubt yourself. He still thinks maybe he's exaggerating, that maybe it's just too much sensitivity. But the truth is, you are feeling exactly what needs to be felt. You're not crazy. You are awake. You are crossing an energetic field that few people have the capacity to perceive. And that's why this path seems so lonely. But it's not. There are others like you, and they are waking up too. And that's why you're here. This video, this message, this moment, all of this was aligned for you to confirm what your soul already knows. You have been called. You have been activated, and what comes now will not be light, but it will be liberating. Scorpio, you are the living answer to questions the world hasn't even asked yet, and so, you are the one who needs to follow first. Open the way, tear the veil, sustain the invisible until it becomes visible. And now, after all of this, I want you to take one simple but powerful action. Comment below, I crossed. Write this as an activation code, like a spiritual seal, because whoever comments declares, whoever writes manifests. And if you feel like this content was made for you, like this video. This helps this message reach other Scorpio souls who also need to awaken now. And subscribe to the channel here, because this journey is just beginning. There are revelations that have yet to be spoken, secrets that have yet to be revealed, and you need to be here when they come to light. Breathe once again, because what comes next will touch on an even deeper part of your mission. Have you ever had the feeling that you lost everything and no one noticed? Have you ever felt like you were torn apart inside but the world moved on as if nothing had happened? Maybe you've gone through nights where you cried in silence, not knowing if you'd be able to get up the next day with no one around to hear you, without any words of comfort that really made sense. And yet somehow you got up. Somehow, even without strength, you started again. This is not weakness. This is not emotional exaggeration. This is a mark of someone who was chosen to carry a weight that few would understand. And if you're a Scorpio, this wasn't a coincidence. It was destiny. Scorpio bears the mark of the phoenix. And the phoenix, before being reborn from the ashes, needs to be completely consumed by fire. Scorpio pain is never superficial. It is a silent, intense pain that tears the spirit from within, but at the same time, shapes a spiritual strength that cannot be explained in words. Your pain didn't break you. She reconfigured you. She burned you so that you were reborn with a more aligned, more awakened, truer consciousness. It doesn't matter how many times they tried to turn off your light. It doesn't matter how many times they made you doubt yourself. If you are here, now, breathing, it is. Because you won battles that no one saw, carried burdens that no one helped lift, and still you continued. And the reason for all this is one: transformation. You are called to transform. Transform environments, relationships, energies, people, realities. But it all starts with your own transformation. And for that, it was necessary to go through what he went through. The universe does not waste pain. He recycles. It transforms. And he knows who he can count on in this process. Scorpio is a sign that doesn't get easy answers because it's not here for common questions. You came to break patterns, tear veils, and touch the invisible with the courage of someone who has already seen rock bottom, and yet chose to rise. How many times have you felt like you were at your limit? That I couldn't handle another loss? That your heart couldn't bear one more disappointment? And even so, did you endure it? How many times did you have to start over from scratch, with your chest open, bleeding, but with your eyes still believing that something bigger was coming? This strength you have is not human. It is spiritual. It is a gift that only those who have been trained through pain carry. Your sensitivity is not weakness. It's a sensor. It's an antenna. It's a compass. And that's why you hurt where others don't even notice. Because you feel more, see more, live longer. Only those who carry the Scorpio mission understand what it is like to have to die several times and be reborn more. And more true. You lose people, loses paths. Lose everything that doesn't suit your soul, even if it hurts, even if you fought to maintain it. Scorpio doesn't hold back what doesn't have a soul, and when you hold, the universe takes off, because your mission doesn't allow you to live half-heartedly. You were not made to settle for the superficial. That's why so many times, life has forced you to go down to the bottom, to tear off the masks, to see what no one sees, to feel what no one has the courage to feel. And this shaped an unbreakable spiritual structure in you. You are not fragile, you are alchemy. It is pure transmutation. And even when everything seems to fall apart, something in you remains firm. Something in you knows you can't stop, that you can't back down. Because your soul carries a reconstruction code. Every time you break down, you come back bigger, stronger, more connected with your essence. And this process of death and rebirth, however painful it may be, is also liberating. Because each version that falls makes room for one more aligned with who you really are. And this new version is needed now. December is asking for this delivery, that jump, this courageous choice to no longer hide. You don't have to pretend you're fine. You no longer have to smile while you bleed inside. You no longer need to fit into molds that suffocate your soul. This cycle is not to please anyone. It's to free yourself. It's meant to be. And being, for Scorpio, is something too deep to be half-lived. To be is to cross. It's letting go of what no longer vibrates. It is understanding that certain losses were deliverances, that certain silences were answers, that certain pains were doors. Everything is connected. Even your solitude had a purpose, to strengthen you in the invisible. And now something inside you is stirring. You feel it. You feel like the time is coming to make decisions that have no way back, to end cycles with dignity, to stop begging for presence, love, attention, and start living fully what really nourishes you spiritually. Because your soul is truly hungry, on purpose, of alignment, and the universe will continue to take away everything that prevents you from living this mission until you say yes, until you surrender, until you recognize that each tear had meaning, that each fall was part of the plan, that each goodbye was protection in disguise. And if you think you're alone in all of this, you're not. There is a spiritual legion that watches you. There is a group of souls that vibrate at the same frequency as yours. People who are also awakening, feeling, going through. And when you comment here, when you share what you experienced, you activate this invisible network of healing and recognition. You help other Scorpios understand that they are not alone, that their pain also has value, that their path is also being led. So, if you felt every word, if this message seemed to speak to your story, to your soul, I want you to comment below now. I was reborn from pain. Write this with truth, with strength like a spiritual seal. And if you've ever experienced something similar to what I described here, a profound loss, a silent reconstruction, a pain that became strength, share. Your story could be the answer someone has been waiting for. Like this video if it touched you. And subscribe to the channel, because what comes next will touch an even deeper point of your essence. And you need to be here to keep crossing with me. And now that you understand that the pain you experienced was not in vain, that each silent rebirth shaped the soul you have today, the time has come to access a truth that few have the courage to accept. What you feel is not just intuition. It's access. It is energetic reading. It's contact with something that most people don't even know how to name. And this isn't something you chose. It's something you carry. Scorpio is not a common sign, and you've felt it since forever. While others live on the surface, you dive. While many just react to the world, you realize what is yet to happen. Scorpio is the guardian of the invisible portal between two worlds. And I'm not the one saying that. This truth was recognized by names that crossed the timeline with deep spiritual wisdom. One of them was Edgar Cayce, known by many as the Sleeping Prophet, a globally respected medium who dedicated his life to interpreting messages from the spiritual plane. According to Cayce, Scorpio carries within itself the key that connects the physical plane to the spiritual plane. He said that Scorpios were chosen to guard the transition between life and death, between what is seen and what is felt, between what is said and what is actually felt. This is not a metaphor. It's a mission. It's called. It is a spiritual seal. And you feel that, don't you? Always felt. Even when I didn't understand. Since you were a child. When you realized there was something different about you. Maybe it was that discomfort when entering certain environments, that need to stay away from some people even for no apparent reason. Maybe it was those dreams that seemed as real as life, those strange sensations that you never knew how to explain, those premonitions that were later confirmed in detail. You always knew. Your soul already knew this gift before your mind could understand it. And do you know why this happens to you? Because your spirit is in tune with more subtle realities. Scorpio is one of the oldest signs of the zodiac in spiritual terms. He didn't come to Earth just to learn, he came to remember. And this memory is not rational. It comes as sensations, visions, synchronicities. The truth is that you are not here just living an ordinary life. You are on a mission that involves rescuing, protecting, healing, transforming, and above all, feel. Feel what others block. Feel what has not yet been said. Feel what is coming. This ability to access what is Next is both a gift and a responsibility, because when you feel before, you also suffer before. You carry within you a spiritual anticipation. Sometimes this manifests as anxiety with no apparent cause, other times like sudden melancholy. But in fact, they are vibrational codes that reach you before manifesting on the physical plane. You feel what is being generated in the invisible. Sente, the change before the word. Feel the goodbye before saying goodbye. Feel the end before the fall. And that often scares you, because no one taught you how to deal with it. Nobody told you that this was a gift. But now, you're listening. Now you know. Edgar Cayce described Scorpio as a sign directly linked to collective transformation. And transformation does not come in peace. It comes in rupture, come in pain. It comes in necessary losses. You are called to work in these fields. When you enter a place, your presence changes the vibration. Sometimes it attracts people like a magnet. Other times, it scares. And everything is fine, because your soul is not here to please. It's here to activate, to break comfort zones, to be the turning point. This explains why so many people look at you as if they see too much of you, or don't understand you at all. You are a mirror, and mirrors show what many don't want to see. Maybe that's why you've always had a hard time fitting in accepting certain structures, to pretend I didn't feel it. Maybe you tried to be normal, to silence your instinct, to adapt to external expectations. But every time he tried to deny his essence, life responded with pain, because your soul cannot bear to betray itself. You can even try to walk with your eyes closed, but the universe will always bring you back to the path of truth. And this truth is spiritual, vibrational, mystical. You don't need to prove anything to anyone. What you carry cannot be explained with logic. It can only be recognized by those who vibrate similarly. And that's why this message reached you. It was designed to trigger a memory in you, something that was dormant, something that perhaps you have tried to forget. But now he wants to go back, not as a burden, but as power. The power to accept that you are a portal, a transition point between what ends and what begins. And the more you align yourself with this mission, the more your life stops being about survival and becomes about direction. This is the time to remember, to honor everything that has ever been, felt, even what hurt, because every pain connected you to that truth. Each loss brought you closer to your essence, and every silence was a conversation between you and the universe. Scorpio is the only sign that carries the eyes of death, but not to fear, to understand, to guide, to cross. You were chosen to guide souls who do not yet know how to go through pain, to carry in invisible hands those who do not yet see. But to do that, you first need to recognize who you are, and recognizing who you are starts with a gesture, with an act of spiritual courage. So now, if all of this resonated with your story, if you felt this message touch where no one else has, comment below. I am the guardian of the portal. Declare, activate. Write as someone who seals a pact with the invisible. And if you've had visions, premonitions, sensations that you couldn't explain, share them here. Your experience can enlighten other Scorpios who are also awakening. Like this video if it gave you answers. And subscribe to the channel because the next revelation will touch on something even deeper, and you need to be here to receive it. Breathe and prepare. The next signal is already on its way. Are you still there feeling? Because what we're going to get into now is going to touch on exactly what you've been trying to understand for days, weeks, or maybe months. You know that feeling that something is aligning itself in the invisible, even if you can't explain it? Those sudden chills as if a presence crossed the room without being seen? Or those numbers that started appearing with a frequency that you can no longer ignore? 1111, 2222, 0333, on the clock, on the license plate, in the house number, total purchase. They are not there by chance. These patterns are no coincidence, they are mystical signs. And when they start to repeat themselves, especially now in this month of December, it is because the final signal has already started to be activated in you. Scorpio feels this before others. Scorpio perceives the call without anyone saying a word. And December is such a powerful, energetic portal that everything around begins to vibrate differently. Things no longer fit together like they used to. Relationships seem more fragile. What once held you back begins to lose strength. And along with that, the universe starts sending you reminders. Symbols, omens, whispers. You dream about people you haven't seen in years. Dream about doors, with stairs, with water, with fall, with fire. Dream that you are flying or being pulled by something invisible. These are all spiritual codes being delivered by your own soul and by forces working behind the scenes in your life. How many times have you woken up in the middle of the night with a strange feeling, as if you had left a place that was not part of this plane? Or how many times have you thought of someone and they appeared, sent a message, commented something out of nowhere, and that's songs that play at the exact time with lyrics that seem to have been written for you at that moment? This is not just impression, this is synchronicity. That's when the universe stops screaming and starts whispering directly into your vibrational field. Signals also come through the body. Goosebumps come out of nowhere, especially when talking about something spiritual, mission, soul. That feeling of being watched, even though you're alone. That urge to cry without knowing exactly why. Or that sudden certainty that you need to change something immediately without having a rational explanation. Scorpio has an open channel with the invisible, and when this channel is activated, as it is now, you begin to be guided no longer by logic, but by vibration. And the more you try to ignore it, the stronger it gets. More intense, more direct. Have you ever noticed how some people simply disappear from your life when you start to align with your essence? Or how certain places become uncomfortable, even if they seemed normal to you before? This happens because your energy is changing. You are moving out of an old vibration and into a higher, subtler, purer frequency, and what is not on the same level starts to move away. This might hurt, but it's also liberating, because every time you accept a sign, the universe gives you the next step. But when you ignore it, it repeats. Repeat in more intense forms, more urgent. And now, at this very moment, you are receiving this reminder. The signs are everywhere, and the choice to see or continue sleeping is yours alone. Do you remember the last time something barely saved you? When did you feel like you should go another way, and then discovered that something bad happened in the direction you avoided? What about when your body told you don't go, but you insisted and paid the price? These are also signs. Your body is the antenna of your soul. He feels it before you understand it. It vibrates when something is right. He withdraws when something is toxic. But we learn to keep our bodies quiet, doubting intuition. Follow what makes sense and not what makes your heart beat. But Scorpio can't live like this for long. The soul begins to scream, and the universe responds with signs. You may also be noticing an increase in sensitivity in the last few days. Emotions on the surface, memories of the past coming back to the surface. Hurry, without knowing what. Thirst for something that still has no name. And along with that, an inexplicable desire to withdraw, to silence, to be closer to oneself. This is not depression. This is preparation. December is adjusting your vibration so that you can receive what is coming. And what comes is not small. It's transformation. It's an answer. It's a mission. But only those who are attentive will be able to cross this portal consciously. And now, more than ever, you need to start validating your own signals. Don't wait for someone to confirm what your soul already feels. You don't need permission to awaken. You just need courage to accept that yes, you are being guided. Yes, you are connected. Yes, the signs are real. And yes, you are here now because the time has come. The last crossing, the last call, the end of a cycle and the beginning of something that will change the way you see yourself. If during this video you remembered some strong coincidence, some dream, some sign that you felt, this is the time to write. Comment below. I felt the signal. Write, truthfully, without fear of judgment. If you want, you can share what was the strongest sign you've ever experienced. Maybe it was a dream, perhaps a synchronicity, maybe an inner voice, maybe a shiver that made you stop everything. Your experience might be exactly what someone else needs to read right now. And if you felt that this message spoke to your soul, that it touched a point that no one else touches, also comment, I accept my essence. Write like someone sealing a pact with the invisible, like someone saying to the universe, I understand, I'm ready. Like this video if it helped you better understand what you were already feeling. This helps this energy reach other people who are awakening now, Scorpios or not. And subscribe to the channel here because the next revelations will connect with everything you've experienced so far. Take a deep breath, because what is coming will make you see that each sign was just the beginning, and now, the invisible will start to speak, even louder. You are still here, and if it got to this point, it's no coincidence. This already says a lot about who you are and the spiritual journey you are going through now, but now the time has come to tell you something that may hurt, but needs to be said. There is a real risk and it needs to be exposed. Not every awakened Scorpio remains awake. Not every old soul remains true to its essence. And that, when it happens, takes a silent toll, but devastating, because Scorpio that abandons its essence becomes a shadow, and not shadow in the spiritual sense that illuminates contrasts, but shadow in the sense of oblivion, from erasure, from the loss of identity. The truth is that, as powerful as Scorpio is, it is also one of the most spiritually vulnerable signs when it becomes disconnected from its truth. When you try to mold yourself to please, when you pretend not to feel, when you silence your intuition just to fit into spaces that weren't made for your soul, something starts to corrupt inside. Little by little, you stop listening to your inner voice. Get used to what is shallow. Accept emotional crumbs. You're getting lost. And the consequence of this does not come from outside. It starts in the chest, an inexplicable void, a feeling of being alive on the outside but dead on the inside, a silent apathy that disconnects you from the sacred. And what's even deeper, this separation from the Scorpio essence attracts exactly what you fear most: confusion, repetition of toxic patterns, cycles that drag on, relationships that suck, environments that drain. You begin to attract experiences that do not elevate you, but rather weaken you. And all this because, at some point, you stopped listening to yourself. He stopped respecting himself. You stopped following that silent call that told you, this path is not yours. Scorpio is true. Its intensity, its transformation, but it is also consciousness. And when this awareness is ignored, life loses its shine. You can continue functioning, waking up, working, interacting, but inside something is suspended, as if in standby mode, as if the soul was screaming but no one else was listening, not even you. December is a watershed. It is the month in which the universe screens the awakened. That's when those who are ready receive the next codes, and those who aren't get stuck in the same cycles, experiencing repetitions that should have ended a long time ago. Therefore, the warning I bring now is not a scare. It is a chance to take an honest look at how you have handled your spiritual mission. Have you been respecting your signals? Have you been listening to your intuition? Have you been saying no to what takes you off track? Or have you been betraying yourself day after day to support a life that doesn't represent you? Scorpio is called to be a channel, being a bridge between worlds. But for that to happen, it needs to be clean inside, aligned with the truth itself. And this alignment does not happen by chance. It requires courage. Courage to disappoint others. Courage to walk away from those who want you small. Courage to close doors that no longer resonate with you. And above all, courage to accept who you are, with all that entails: light and shadow, strength and vulnerability, silence and scream. You know very well what I'm talking about, because at this point, you can no longer pretend you don't understand. What holds you back is no longer external, it's internal. These are decisions you know you need to make but still put off. These are words you needed to say but kept. These are environments that already suffocate you, but you insist on staying. These are pacts with the old, when everything around you is already calling you to the new. And if you don't listen to yourself, if you insist on not responding to the call that December is giving you now, life will answer for you. And the answer will not be light, because a soul that does not align with its purpose sooner or later collapses. The synchronicities stop. The signals become distant. Intuition is silent. You start to depend on others for everything, seeking validation outside, to compare, to sabotage yourself. And suddenly, that strength that always guided you seems to have disappeared. But it doesn't disappear. She just stays silent, waiting for you to come back. You came into the world with a rare frequency. It wasn't by accident. It wasn't by luck. It was due to preparation. You were trained before you were born to be what no one else could be. And this spiritual identity cannot be wasted. It cannot be negotiated. It cannot be ignored. Scorpio that denies its essence opens gaps, and those gaps become doors for everything you came here to heal, to return. Perhaps now you are feeling discomfort in your body, in your stomach, in your chest. This is not just any discomfort. This is your energy reacting to the truth, because you recognize every word said here. You don't need anyone to prove anything to you. You feel, you know, and that's why this message found you, because the universe wanted you to hear this today. I wanted to remind you of what you forgot. I wanted to give you back the consciousness that was dormant. But what you do with it now is your choice. You can continue ignoring, anesthetizing, adapting, or you can choose to align. You can choose to respond. You can choose to be reborn again. And if you choose, everything starts to line up again. The doors open, the signals come back, the dreams come back, the clarity returns. Because the universe has not abandoned you. He's just waiting for you to get back to being who you always were. If you felt that this part of the message touched you deeper, that it exposed something that you were keeping, comment below. I return to my essence. And if you realize that you have been betraying yourself, that you have been silencing your soul to fit into spaces that are not yours, share, not with shame, but with awareness. Comment, I walked away, but now I'm back. These phrases activate energy, move the invisible, generate healing not only in you, but in those who also read. And if this message spoke to your soul, enjoy this video now. Not for me, but so that this energy finds others who need to remember who they are. And subscribe to the channel here, because in the next few minutes, we will access an even deeper part of your journey. Breathe, because what comes next is the revelation that your soul has been waiting for. You are still here. And if it got to this point, it's no coincidence. This already says a lot about who you are and the spiritual journey you are going through now. But now the time has come to tell you something that may hurt but needs to be said. There is a real risk and it needs to be exposed. Not every awakened Scorpio remains awake. Not every old soul remains true to its essence. And that, when it happens, takes a silent but devastating toll. Because Scorpio that abandons its essence becomes a shadow. And not shadow in the spiritual sense that illuminates contrasts, but shadow in the sense of oblivion, from erasure, from the loss of identity. The truth is that, as powerful as Scorpio is, it is also one of the most spiritually vulnerable signs when it becomes disconnected from its truth. When you try to mold yourself to please, when you pretend not to feel, when you silence your intuition just to fit into spaces that weren't made for your soul, something starts to corrupt inside. Little by little, you stop listening to your inner voice. Get used to what is shallow. Accept emotional crumbs. You're getting lost. And the consequence of this does not come from outside. It starts in the chest. An inexplicable void. A feeling of being alive on the outside but dead on the inside. A silent apathy that disconnects you from the sacred. And what's even deeper, this separation from the Scorpio essence attracts exactly what you fear most. Confusion. Repetition of toxic patterns, cycles that drag on, relationships that suck, environments that drain. You begin to attract experiences that do not elevate you, but rather weaken you. And all this because, at some point, you stopped listening to yourself. He stopped respecting himself. You stopped following that silent call that told you, this path is not yours. Scorpio is true. It's intensity. It's transformation. But it is also consciousness. And when this awareness is ignored, life loses its shine. You can continue functioning, waking up, working, interacting, but inside something is suspended, as if in standby mode, as if the soul was screaming, but no one else was listening, not even you. December is a watershed. It is the month in which the universe screens the awakened. That's when those who are ready receive the next codes, and those who aren't get stuck in the same cycles, experiencing repetitions that should have ended a long time ago. Therefore, the warning I bring now is not a scare. It is a chance to take an honest look at how you have handled your spiritual mission. Have you been respecting your signals? Have you been listening to your intuition? Have you been saying no to what takes you off track? Or have you been betraying yourself day after day to support a life that doesn't represent you? Scorpio is called to be a channel, being a bridge between worlds. But for that to happen, it needs to be clean inside, aligned with the truth itself. And this alignment does not happen by chance. It requires courage. Courage to disappoint others. courage to walk away from those who want you small, courage to close doors that no longer resonate with you, and above all, courage to accept who you are, with all that entails, light and shadow, strength and vulnerability, silence and scream. You know very well what I'm talking about, because at this point, you can no longer pretend you don't understand. What holds you back is no longer external, it's internal. These are decisions you know you need to make but still put off. These are words you needed to say but kept. These are environments that already suffocate you, but you insist on staying. These are pacts with the old, when everything around you is already calling you to the new. And if you don't listen to yourself, if you insist on not responding to the call that December is giving you now, life will answer for you. And the answer will not be light, because a soul that does not align with its purpose sooner or later collapses. The synchronicities stop, the signals become distant, intuition is silent. You start to depend on others for everything, seeking validation outside, to the and compare, to sabotage yourself. And suddenly that strength that always guided you seems to have disappeared. But it doesn't disappear. She just stays silent, waiting for you to come back. You came into the world with a rare frequency. It wasn't by accident, it wasn't by luck. It was due to preparation. You were trained before you were born to be what no one else could be. And this spiritual identity cannot be wasted. It cannot be negotiated. It cannot be ignored. Scorpio that denies its essence opens gaps, and those gaps become doors for everything you came here to heal, to return. Perhaps now you are feeling discomfort in your body, in your stomach, in your chest. This is not just any discomfort. This is your energy reacting to the truth. Because you recognize every word said here. You don't need anyone to prove anything to you. You feel, you know, and that's why this message found you. Because the universe wanted you to hear this today. I wanted to remind you of what you forgot. I wanted to give you back the consciousness that was dormant. But what you do with it now is your choice. You can continue ignoring, anesthetizing, adapting, or you can choose to align. You can choose to respond. You can choose to be reborn again. And if you choose, everything starts to line up again. The doors open, the signals come back, the dreams come back, clarity returns. Because the universe has not abandoned you. He's just waiting for you to get back to being who you always were. If you felt that this part of the message touched you deeper, that it exposed something that you were keeping, comment below. I return to my essence. And if you realized that you have been betraying yourself, that you have been silencing your soul to fit into spaces that are not yours, share. Not with shame, but with awareness. Comment, I walked away, but now I'm back. These phrases activate energy, move the invisible, generate healing not only in you, but in those who also read. And if this message spoke to your soul, enjoy this video now. Not for me, but so that this energy finds others who need to remember who they are. And subscribe to the channel here, because in the next few minutes, we will access an even deeper part of your journey. Breathe, because what comes next is the revelation that your soul has been waiting for. If you've made it this far, to the end of this video, it's because this message really spoke to your soul, and that says it all about you. Not everyone stays until the end, only those who are ready, only those who truly feel, only those who know that they are living something bigger than they seem. And so, I want to invite you now to be part of this space of continuous rebirth. Subscribe to the channel right now, because each video here is a continuation of your spiritual journey, and there's a lot more coming. Things that will confirm you, guide you, strengthen you. You are not alone. Leave a like if this message crossed your mind at some point. This simple gesture helps to spread this energy to other people who are also feeling this call, who also need to awaken. And comment below, I cross the invisible with awareness. This sentence will seal everything you experienced in this video. It will mark your commitment to your essence, to your mission, to what you felt here today. And now, before leaving, look here on the left side of the screen. The next video is already waiting for you. It brings revelation about Sagittarius's role in the divine plan, and will connect with everything you just heard. Watch now and continue this journey with me. You are ready, and the path is just beginning.